Hello everyone, on today's episode I want to talk about how and what I learned from not buying anything for 3 months.
Hello Brad, I am Maria from the great city of Dallas. I am spending more than I can afford, and it is causing real stress for me and my boyfriend. Do you have any advice on how I can budget better?
All of the lights. Oh, I love that. It's such a great intro. Thank you, Riri and Kanye. So today we're going to talk about minimalism, and we're going to talk about what I learned from not buying anything for 3 entire months, which was a fantastic period in my life, and I want to share that with you today. As always, I'm going to start with a quote, and that quote is, "Wish you would learn to love people and use things and not the other way around." Drake from the song Connect 2014. So I'll say that one more time. Wish you would learn to love people and use things and not the other way around. I had a girl who was incredibly special to me, and I used to say this Connect song just reminded me of the relationship. It's a great song. Yes, I'm a Drake fan. It's tragic, I know, but the song Connect I used to say to her all the time. Geez, this really describes where we're at and how our connection works. And I particularly used to like that quote because sometimes we do. We love things which then saps our energy or it distracts our attention from loving people. You can only love people and become obsessed with things. So we're going to go through the things I learned for not buying anything. Now, me not buying anything is a big deal. For those who know me, before I transformed and went through my transformation, I used to buy everything. I used to buy the best BMWs, the best clothes. In fact, as I've been giving away my clothes to the homeless and to the needy, I've been blown away. I've probably clothed 50 people. And I think to myself, how have I clothed 50 people when I was just one person? Now, one of these people don't have any clothes. I bought them all. So I was probably a big part of the problem. It's really important that you understand that things can never, ever satisfy you. As C.K. Lewis said, our life basically revolves around the fact that we buy things and we're just kind of satisfied with our products and then we die. And unfortunately, a lot of people live their life that way, where ultimately they're looking for satisfaction and they spend their entire life delaying satisfaction. I've seen people work 30, 40 years in a job that they hate because they believe once they retire, the incentive they get or the pension they get from retiring will make up for it. I don't know. Why couldn't you just find something you love and live your life, Ultimately, there's no high five or reward at your gravesite that says that you worked in a job you hated but you made heaps of money. Money's great and it comes to you when you let it go. And one of the best ways to make money, if that's what your goal is to stop spending. Ins and outs, it's basic economics. If expenditure outweighs your income, then you'll never be able to be financially free. Financially free is really important, but you don't become financially free by becoming a millionaire. That I feel that everyone wants to become, everyone that I meet that says I'd like to be a millionaire is really saying they'd like to get rid of the worries of money. But the worries of money come from spending, not from earning. So the first thing I learned, and we'll get into the 6 things that I learned, the 8 things, that I learned. The first thing was, there's already too much stuff in my life and in the world. Like, for every jumper I bought, there were 3 jumpers already in my closet. For every magazine subscription or thing that I bought, I already had something that at one stage was better than that or filled that need. So it seemed like there was already enough stuff. So why was I buying? I never asked myself that question. I just thought, well, I got some satisfaction for a couple of weeks out of this spa that I bought. Therefore, the natural progression is to buy a pool. It's not the natural progression. In fact, removing these things from your life helps you see the free, natural beauty that's out there. 2, people buy things out of pure compulsion. Now, if you don't believe me, ask every marketing guru in the world. There's a reason why they put, candy and, chocolates sort of at the aisles of all the shops you go to. It's because buying becomes compulsive. And people buy out of compulsion. We know that. That's why we put those little baskets full of little knickknacks and stuff. It's people buy out of compulsion. They can't handle not buying. It's you never hear anyone say, I had a great day shopping and I didn't buy anything. They say, I had a great day shopping, I bought these shoes and all these things. It's compulsive. Number 3, there's an unreasonable stigma around owning secondhand or pre-owned things, which is a good point. Pre-owned things are genuinely things that last time. A second-hand car means it was good enough to become second-hand. Second-hand furniture means it was built in such a way many people can get use out of it. Having to have new things is just crazy. They're not new things anyway because they've been shipped around the world. A lot of them, Nike included, probably from sweatshops in Vietnam in the past, so they've been around the world. They're not new. Clothes, furniture, all these things you can get second-hand, and what you're doing is you're not wasting the world's resources by another chair being created and then thrown into the dump and another thing being created. The world's resources are not infinite. Our mindset is infinite, therefore we should use our mindset and realise that we can have pre-owned things. It's not a big deal. Number 4, there is so much abundance. Like, think about this for a sec. The human species, roughly, let's say it's 1.25 million years on this planet. We were fine without buying anything for 8,000 years. We never bought a thing. Sorry, up until 8,000 years ago, we didn't buy a thing. So for over 1 million years, we didn't buy a thing, and we got along. We had enough berries, fruit, meat, protein, love, connection. We hadn't bought anything. This idea that human society cannot exist without buying things is a marketing concept. We've been fine for a long time. Suicide rates, I'm sure, in Stone Age, pre-Stone Age societies was incredibly low. Now it's incredibly high. So the concept that there's not enough in the world is a concept driven by marketing. It's called scarcity marketing, where you say only 3 left, and people go, if there's only 3 left, so I need to get one before someone else gets one. Scarcity is a lie. There's enough for everyone in this world. Number 5, what I learnt was when nothing is new, nothing is expensive. So if you want the latest iPhone, it's going to be a certain price. But if you don't need the latest iPhone, you can get the previous generation iPhone, and it's going to be cheaper. But the need for new drives higher spending, average sell prices go up, and more of it. 6, it's awesome paying a person instead of a corporation. When you stop spending, you generally aren't paying the big banks, the big clothing companies, all this sort of stuff, money. You end up spending money at a local store. You go to a local fruit and veg place, and the money, the $50 you give to Gino, and Gino's telling you he's been in business for 30 years, Gino gets that $50. It doesn't go to this faceless corporation with these people on a board consistently cutting jobs other than their own to raise their own salaries and continually putting votes forward for extra entitlements for the board members and allowing their staff, in many cases, to suffer. I heard I think Citibank fired 10,000 people in a day, and the CEO of Citibank has massive security teams that takes him around. And I remember Russell Brand saying that we need to get rid of those security teams, and he probably wouldn't fire 10,000 people a day. He'd probably be more compassionate. If this is what's happening around the world. We're getting these CEOs who are so ruthless and care so little for humanity. They need dudes with guns protecting them because they're bad dudes. And therefore, good dudes don't need to be protected with big guns, It seems to be bad dudes need to be protected with guns. You sometimes see that when serial killers or mass shootings where they're taking the person to jail and they're protecting him. Good people don't need to be protected. They know what it's all about. Number 7, I don't need any of that stuff. Marcus Aurelius, who was the emperor of Rome, was on campaign, and he used to just sleep in his tent on the ground. His men used to say it was great. Marcus, you're a legend. Most of these blokes are eating grapes with prostitutes and high-fiving, their mates in robes. He just understood that he could be happy with nothing. Therefore, he didn't need anything. Therefore, he didn't go out and strive all the time. He could just accept what he had. Number 8, this is my favourite, and this is straight from Zen, and I'm so privileged to have this understanding. Mental clutter and physical clutter are linked. I used to have so much clutter, and I used to have such cluttered thinking that when I removed the clutter, interestingly, my environment drove my thinking. And psychologists agree with this. Your environment can drive your thinking. So if you dissolve the clutter in your house, your thought process becomes more clear. Every time you see something, your brain's making a decision. If you have bought a brand new beautiful lamp and it's in the corner, when you see that lamp, a whole raft of things go through your mind, even though you're not consciously aware of it. The more things you remove, the more you allow the mind to be at peace. And that's incredibly important because peace is your default state. All great decisions, all great relationships came from a state of peace and centeredness. Anxiety, fear, and the want of money, bad decisions come from. So they're the 8 things I learned, not buying anything. I recommend the minimalist lifestyle to anyone. There's lots of great websites that, there's a TEDx talk, which I'll try and post, which is about minimalism, about putting things into boxes and seeing how long you don't need them for. Heaps of great techniques to do it. You'll find your own vehicle, but they're the 8 things I learned for not buying anything for 3 months. As we move forward in our journey, a 1 year journey, you will need to buy less and become more content with what you have, which is true happiness. So can't wait to see you tomorrow for the next installment of the 1 year life journey. Having fun with you. This is great. We wake up and see each other every day. It's pretty cool. And I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.